Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! It's that time of year again, boys and girls. There's been a patch, there's been an update, and we need to reset our sensitivity settings. And we're going to do it in 2 easy stages. If you want to do your sniper sensitivity, that's all well and good. There is a lot of video from me here on channel, basically showing you how to practice and how to grind in your sniper sensitivity. It involves using the training modes here. Reaction training, difficulty 3 is one, or you can just do standard training, difficulty 3, highest record. What's the reaction training? Difficulty 3, 56 seconds. I don't know what one we've done. I don't know what we've done. But there's a whole video on sniping things. I'll put a link in the description. What we're going to talk about here is the 2 biggest ones you want to be doing, and that is your sensitivity settings for spray and for hipfire. Your basic sensitivity settings for spray are going to be, your basic sensitivity settings for hipfire are going to include SMGs and shotguns. Why SMGs? Well, it's pretty straightforward. If you look at this, say there's, let's go real long here and it'll illustrate it even better. SMGs are only really hipfire weapons. But I use the Bison, you say. Yeah, you use Bisons like on random targets and spray them down because it's got no recoil. But if you're at 300 meters and you want to set up a shot on, say, that target that's moving there, look how much you got to lead it by with an M416, right? Not much, because it's got 900 meters a second bullet speed. I'm doing the same thing on the UMP and I try and lead it like that. It's still getting there. I've got to literally do it before the target is coming back from the other direction. That tells you that these guns, the further away you're using a UMP, like at further range, or a Bison, or a Vector, or an Uzi, the worse it is. So why use the gun? Well, because you can do this with it, you know? It's just broken hipfire-wise. It's absolutely ridiculous hipfire. I'm running it with a laser sight because that improves the hipfire dispersion. Sure, you can use ADS, and you're better off using ADS at that range, but it doesn't mean you can't just hipfire it. So we're going to stick, this is how I set it up. Now, hat tip, I've already set it up. I mean, I'm 121% is my TPP no-scope settings. You're going to see how difficult that is, that becomes when we turn it down. It's just it's like so much less effective. And you can just run around here and get a feel for it. And what you really want to be doing is snapping to targets. You don't want to look at targets that are directly, you want to snap to them. And that'll give you a feel for where your hipfire no-scope sensitivity setting should be. And you really want to snap to it. And this is where you start. You generally like develop a pattern. So you want to go from outside in. So it's this guy, and then 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 this guy. And you turn around, and guess what? You repeat it. Because that's what we do. But you try and do it where you're turning to the target. You see how long that takes, right? Because obviously it was meant to be up here, right? 121%. Blow to cloud. Thank you very much. And it's a lot easier when it's at the right percentage. And that's what you're doing. And then you're going to do the same thing with shotguns. Now, I would suggest that shotguns you don't need to set up differently, but some people prefer their shotgun sensitivity set up differently. I don't really use a lot of shotguns because if you're not using the DBS, you're kind of missing out altogether. And I don't like running the DBS, so I don't really use it. Now we're going to talk about spraying. You want to set your spray setup at a range where it's actually going to be effective. Say I'm running a 3X. I don't want to be spraying at that range with a 3X. Like, at that range, I can be just as effective with a red dot as I can with a 3X. Like, it's crazy how much over-scoping there is in PUBG Mobile. Like, red dot will absolutely get the job done for you out to 75 meters, maybe even more sometimes. It's easier at times, but it's if you're not going to use a candid sight, you're better off switching a scope in and out. Now, when I'm doing this, if you want to set your sensitivity, the basic rule of thumb is that when you have the gun, and don't aim at heads up here, aim down here. Like I always try and do it underneath the target. So then you're using the target, like this is 62 meters. I want to keep the gun underneath the target. I'm actually trying to keep the gun under. And you want to set it up so that it is going just underneath. You want to sit it. You want it to have the right point where the recoil is kicking it up at regular intervals and you're regularly smoothly pulling down. And that's going to keep it on the right kind of track. Let's try that again. But you don't want it too far. If you have it too high, it's going to drag the thing all the way down. Like if you have the ADS set up to, say, 100, watch when I try and keep it down. Oh, it goes way too far down, right? I knew it was going to do that, obviously, but if you have a look at those bullets, see how many of them are right along the bottom edge? It's a little high, but that's what I want to do. I want to be hitting that bottom edge. Probably about 48, I think. Should do it. And this is less about accuracy. I'm just trying to get the recoil right. It's probably even a touch too much. You can work on your accuracy from there, but I don't even have it set up. I'm not using any attachments or anything. If I can keep that recoil down there, that'll be fine. That's it. After that, you just go and train. Go and grind. Get in there and grind. It's something that I do pretty much every patch because every patch they do weird stuff. I don't know why. I will patch, I will update, I will have to change my sensitivity, and it's just so like clockwork. It's quite strange. I'm Bushka. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that quick little hit out. There'll be plenty more action coming down the pipe. Stick around. Enjoy the day. Au revoir, amigos.